Hey, so I told you 3 videos today, and I do what I says, right? At least to the best of my efforts, right? And so there's the board. Like I said, probably gonna need a bigger board, probably a Scott Adams type board, right? You know what I mean? Think so. I think so. I think we all agree. Anyway, I'm glad to report that I've went, like I said, right before the last video. I was gonna take my mom and we're gonna go shopping, get her hair did, right? Get all fancied up, right? We did, right? I guess they don't do coloring and shampooing because of the pandemic, which we gotta find another place that does. Maybe under the table, maybe who knows, right? We'll find it. We'll get it done like we always do. That's what we do around here. We get shit done. Okay, okay. And so that happened. She's FaceTimed and she's talked to some family. So that's going good. See, I told you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta say things like "open sesame," right? And things happen, right? So get to work, right? I wonder what you guys have been doing. I saw the ladder came from Amazon. I went and built that thing up, got that going. So, you know what I mean? I ate lunch already. I've been doing stuff, man. What you been doing? I bet you've been sitting at home eating potato chips, watching Netflix, and being pissing and moaning and acting like people have been pissing in your Cheerios. That ain't cool, man. It ain't cool, man. You should get up, you know, maybe put some water in your face, wash that hands, wash that ass. You know what I mean? You know, work out a little bit, maybe meditate, you know, stuff like that. You know, clean the house up, clean your life up, you know, clean shit up, and get out and get shit done. This is that simple, folks. Anyway, so let's get right into this, right? We got a couple articles to read, right? So I don't know if you guys know this, but in free Florida, the free states of Florida right now, right? There's been a substitute teacher. She's been fired for telling students Antifa attacked the Capitol. This is a Bach Academy in Polk County. In Lake Wales, Florida, a substitute teacher was fired from Lake Wales charter schools after a student claimed or filmed her spreading misinformation about the U.S. Capitol riot to her students. A bunch of Antifa members showed up and started violence. This is just another example. They were paid to be there. The unidentified substitute teacher at Bach Academy is her telling the class. There is no evidence to support the idea the left-wing protesters disguised themselves as supporters of President Trump and attacked the Capitol building. There's no evidence otherwise. There's been no really investigation. It's been too short, right? The Durham report's been 4 years long. Where's he at, right? The Mueller report took about 4 years long. Any FBI investigation will tell you it takes months, right? So this just happened like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Way too early. Plus, we already know that some people, like in Utah, right, a BLM activist was arrested there. We know that there's been all kinds of opportunist agitators. That's what we should just call them, agitators, not in this way and that way. Otherwise, we just get into the echo chambers of propaganda, right? Fact-based here. We're fact-based. Anyway. Anybody can put a MAGA hat on, the teacher replied to a student who asked about the Make America Great Again merchandise worn by the rioters, which is true though, right? I mean, you can just go, I mean, there's lots of people arrested right now for impersonating cops. I mean, they're a real cop. You could hire a cop right now to come to your house, or a fireman, or whatever you want them, right? To come to your house, or a plumber, or whatever. Come to your house and strip for you right now, right, for money. Don't mean actually a fireman or a cop or that, right? Right? I'm just being honest, right? Just how it is. The video was posted on Instagram, then TMZ. We understand there's a video released and shared on social media of an incident on our campus. Bach Academy posted on Facebook this week. Our administration is aware the substitute teacher no longer applied at our school, nor within the Lake Wales School District. Bach Academy administrators declined to comment. We have spoken with the student twice and plan on speaking with them again. We had a conversation about this situation and just realized that we do not discuss politics on our campus. That's kind of nice. They want to be, just, education, information, which is knowledge, which is great, which is what school should be, not indoctrination. Yoakum is not affiliated. This is disheartening when you see something like that. Polk County Education Association President Stephanie Yoakum. Yoakum is not affiliated with the Lake Wales charter schools or their teachers. Well, this is why it's good to have school choice, folks. As educators in our schools, we really have to be careful about putting our own opinion and biases into our teaching, no matter what we're teaching. One parent told them that they think that they acted swiftly and appropriately. My opinion is not to have politics in the school. Walter Hughes, who lives in the Wake Wales area, as far as firing somebody for discussing what they feel, I think it's a little harsh. I think maybe a suspension, time off, maybe cool down a little bit. Maybe as it is in order. Really quick. The Nashville bomber. Bet you didn't know that was still going on. See, investigations take a while. Still don't know motive about that or the Vegas bomber. Just putting that out there. Nashville bomber mail materials with viewpoints to acquaintances, FBI says. CNN. The man who detonated a vehicle bomb in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning sent materials which espoused his viewpoints, probably video clips, to several acquaintances throughout the country. FBI Public Affairs Officer Daryl DeBusk told CNN. The materials could provide further information on the motive of the bomber, identified as 63-year-old Anthony Quinn Warner. We shouldn't be naming him like this. DeBusk asked those who received the material to contact the FBI. Warner from Antioch, Tennessee, died when his RV exploded on 2nd Avenue North, injuring at least 8 people and damaging more than 40 buildings, including an AT&T transmission building. In the moments before the explosion, his RV broadcast ominous warnings and a computerized female voice that it would soon explode. The unusual warnings spurred police and bystanders to leave the area and limited the human toll. They're brave heroes. Blue Line Matters. Warner's neighbors and a person he worked with had a little substantive to say about him. They described him generally as a loner and a computer expert, which could be in most anybody today, folks. This is why censorship is not good. We should be having all the shining brights on everybody, giving everybody the open mic. Let them say whatever they want. That way we know where they are, what they're saying at all times. Not just in their basements or their fucking garages or their RVs or their campers or in the woods, building bombs or doing stuff we don't know, right? Boston bombing anybody? Oklahoma City bombing anybody? Come on. Come on. Not cool, man. We should be better than this, we know. Don't be letting our hate and disdain get in the way of all this good progress we've been having with safety, okay? Let's not do that, folks. The warnings have sparse evidence of Warner's politics and have prevented authorities from calling the bombing an act of terrorism, which by the definition is an act of furtherance of a political goal. The police have been told he was building bombs. Though his motive remains unclear, Warner's bomb-making capability had previously been reported to police. A woman who said she was Warner's girlfriend told the police last year he was making bombs in his RV. According to the statement and documents the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department provided to CNN. On August 21st, 2019, police received a call from the attorney, Pamela Perry. The woman said that she was Warner's girlfriend and told the cops that her attorney, Raymond Throckmorton, said she had made suicidal threats to him on the phone, so he was spiraling out of control, it seems. When police arrived at Perry's home, she found 2 unloaded pistols near Perry, whose head belonged to Warner. She told police officers they did not want them in the home any longer and that Warner was building bombs in the RV and the residence, according to a matter of record. And the police boss spoke to Throckmorton, who once represented Warner and was also at Perry's home. He told the authorities frequently talks about the military and bomb making. It also goes on, though, that he says that he's trying to prevent that he says that they wouldn't let him go, that the cops said they wouldn't let him go check the RV. He's like denying that and stuff like that. So it seems to be a lot of that going on, which, lawyers in the back, and maybe in hindsight, he's like, oh shit, I'm trying to cover his ass. That's what it seems like. But because of that, we have people like this, right? We're going to stay on this theme of Nashville real quick. We have this Mayor Chicken Cooper. Oh, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Okay, so we have Mayor John Cooper has extended the executive order for the 3rd time regarding the Christmas Day bombing in downtown Nashville. The executive order allows Cooper to protect the public and facilitate the ongoing criminal investigation on 2nd Avenue near Commerce Street. The order states that the criminal investigation into the bombing continues and first responders are assessing the structural integrity as well as the safety of the buildings, because there were a lot of old architecture buildings. I saw in that article the Tennessean wouldn't let me see unless I gave him $1 or whatever to subscribe, which is kind of censorship. You should let me be reading that Tennessean. Come on, what are you doing? Anyways, I guess a lot of old 19 structures like that were damaged. Probably can't rebuild them like that, so it is what it is, folks. On December 20th, this does talk about the bombing, so. But so he's extending the orders until for 7 more days. I had to read that. It's getting hot in here. I got to hear. So not CNN, Fox News. I get another outlet. I guess it's their little brother, little sister, spat like my little siblings did, right? Biden sparks backlash among some progressives over $1,400 stimulus checks and corona relief proposal. Yeah, people need help, and they kind of ain't really with it, right? But now see how quick they were with this impeachment thing. That's really not really, it's impeachment sham. They just voted to have it here on the floor, and they're like, we did it. Otherwise, what was Petzolnik doing for 6 months on the floor reading us nursery rhymes? What was that? You can say we could have done it that fast that before, but you guys didn't do it. Oh, stalling and playing games, right? Now you're doing the same thing, playing games with people's lives while people are dying out here. We need help, right? And AOC is right? You'll read on. President-elect Joe Biden is already facing backlash over the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief proposal designed to combat the economic downturn and deadly pandemic that he outlined on Thursday night. Biden's plan includes $20 billion to accelerate vaccine distribution, a $15 an hour minimum wage hike, an extension of supplemental unemployment benefits through the end of September, and a one-time $1,400 stimulus check, drawing criticism from progressive lawmakers who wanted to send 2,000 payments, which repeatedly said he supported. Which now they're going to say, well, you got this 600, you got this, but bills are adding up and adding up and adding up. And meanwhile, and they're not giving a fuck because they're still eating caviar and drinking mimosas and having champagne and getting their hair done like Fancy Nancy. 2000 means 2000, Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told the Washington Post. 2000 does not mean 1400. Ocasio-Cortez said Democrats should pass the 2000 stimulus checks in addition to the $600 payment in December rather than increase it by 1400. Representative Cory Bush, Democrat of Montana, said he in a brief tweet criticizing the incoming president proposal 1,400 does equal 2,000. See, that's how they're trying to play it. Ilhan Omar called on Congress to immediately pass 2,000 checks in a sweeping swipe at Biden's $1,400 offer. 600 wasn't enough. The American people are struggling to make ends meet and need relief. We must immediately pass $200 checks. So they're going to continue to keep playing games with this, as it seems, because they don't really care about people's lives. They just really care about the politics about it, and that's what it seems, right? So that's why we need to open up our own business. That's why we got people like Barstool Sports who's doing a lot more for helping people than the own government. So that just tells you right there, community helps community. The government. That's why we need limited government, not big government, in my opinion, folks. Now let's get on to something good. A raven queen vanishes, and Britain checks a prophecy. One of the resident birds at the Tower of London is feared to have died. Legend says at least 6 must be kept there or the nation will fall. Check out this. Look at that. Where do you get something like that? I don't know where that. That's dope. That's right. It's my favorite color. That's why I like pink. London, they flap and loll up and squawk and scavenge. They hold the future of the realm, some say, in their fearsome beaks. And now one of them, their queen, Merlina, has been reclassified to MIA from AWOL. Hurling and feared redemption of a purported prophecy dating from the time of King Charles II in the 17th century. When the ravens leave the Tower of London, the building will crumble and the kingdom with it. At least that at least is the story so far. A blind of myth, invention, and hard-built commercialism that has elevated the resident colony of the Ravens at London, famed prison and palace on the north bank of the River Thames, to a rare status, clipped-wing guardians of the national destiny, tourist dollar magnets. Most people, including the tower's scarlet-clad wardens, known as beefeaters, dismiss the prophecies worldly as a fiction invented in the Victorian Britain in the 19th century. But they are fun to read. But given the other narratives confronting the land, COVID-19 at its most deadly since the pandemic began to uncurl from faraway China a year ago. The traumas and tribulations of Brexit, the consequent fraying of the bonds that unite the United Kingdom. Could it not be said that the portent is already in the process of realization? The flutterings of concern date from December when Christopher Scaife, the Tower's ravenmaster, noticed that ravenmaster sounds like a cool title of Merlina was absent without leave from the rest of the group. Jubilee, Harris, Grip, Rocky, Irwin, and Poppy. Initially, he said he was not too worried because she was a free-spirited raven that has been known to leave the tower precincts and on many occasions. But I'm her buddy, and so she normally comes back to us. But this time, she didn't. So I do fear that she is not with us anymore, he told the BBC. In a statement on Wednesday, the custodians of the Tower of London confirmed his suspicions. Merlina's continued absence indicates to us that she may have already sadly passed away, the Tower authorities said. For prophecy watchers, there was a twist. In order to fulfill the omen, the number of ravens must fall below 6, the minimum dictated by royal decree. Cannily, ravenmaster Scaff had kept an extra bird, a familiar concept and a broader prescription for a legal community that enjoys couples to create an heir and a spare, a plus one if you will, and when they extend the royal family with the creation of offspring. We now have the 7 ravens here at the tower, one more than the required 6, so we don't have any immediate plans to fill in Marina's vacancy at the tower. Nonetheless, the errant queen will be greatly missed by her fellow ravens, the ravenmaster said. All of us in the tower community. It just goes on. The tower is the only tower. The Tower of London closed to visitors as the latest wave of coronavirus cases gather strength. But even then, before Melina's disappearance, the impact of falling visitor numbers had worried custodians like Ravenmaster Scaff. The tower is only the tower when the people are there, he said. The Sun newspaper last year. The ravens have always been so important to the tower because they've been surrounded by missing legends. We really need people to come back to Heart the Ravens. Heart the Raven, nevermore. And that's your bad soup for the day. Remember, spread leaves, love, and harmony.